Hey guys, welcome back to the Enlightened Logger channel. Today I've got just a couple of small projects to work on. Got a beautiful sunny morning here. Started out a little chilly. It was like 47 I think when I got up this morning, but it's already in the mid 50s. Gonna hit about 70 here today. You can see the leaves starting to change color in the background a little bit, and it's just a beautiful fall day. So last week I was out here working in the yard and started to do some prep work to get the site ready to go for fruit tree planting, as well as we're going to be seeding here fairly soon, because you got to wait till the fall to put grass seed down, or spring, because the summer is just too hot. And this is what it looks like. So this is what I did with just the tractor, back blading with the rock bucket that's on there. And yeah, you get lots of debris and stuff picked up, but I figured, because the ground seems to be pretty hard, but then when you back blade it, it comes out pretty good. So I'm gonna be back blading, as well as we're gonna be hitting it with a York rake here, drive that around behind the side-by-side and get this ready to go. So we'll be able to seed it, and then I can move my sawdust pile here, of course. But we'll be working here in the front yard, and then the next step is going to be over by the wood yard. We're going to be pushing some of the debris down over the hill, and I'm going to start processing some firewood this week. We're already kind of heading into the season here, but being it's a new business for us, I'm just going to take what I can get this year and not really worry about the rest. So stick with me today, and I'll show you some of the progress and what it is that we're working on here at the farm. All right guys, got you set up here in the tractor so you can see pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and start it, so it's gonna get loud. Gonna start up in that corner by the gate, and then we're gonna start pushing some of that debris down over the hill, so we've got a good space to work for firewood. so just getting a little steep for side hill work. All right guys, so as you can see, got a little bit of handwork left to do. Still got some roots and stuff here I got to pull out. But I know that if I keep doing it with a tractor, I'm going to end up just digging holes, and that's not what I was looking to do. The objective really was just to get the, you know, the bigger stuff pulled out of the way. Like you could see the roots and some of these sticks and stuff. Get some of those big clumps of weeds and whatnot in, you know, ripped out, and then the dirt loosened up a little bit so that we can York rake it and really clean it up, which obviously you can see I did that pretty easily. It doesn't have to be perfect because a lot of this is going to be you know, fruit trees and tea and whatever else, so it'll have, you know, rows and mulch piles and whatnot, but we would still like to be able to mow it in the interim and in between the rows if possible. So just going to continue cleaning this up. Like I said, we've got a bunch of handwork to do, but this right here was the objective, getting that stuff out that we can't do necessarily by hand and clean up a pretty good corner of it here. So it already looks better, and even though you got little uneven spots here, it's still not too bad. So like I said, once we York rake it, I think it'll be pretty much ready to go. Gonna jump back in the tractor over here and start pushing some of this debris down over the hill into the spot that I'm trying to build up here. And you can see there's a lot of like firewood chunks and some of that in there. So what I'm going to end up doing is trying to pick out the logs that are still pretty solid, and then everything else, you know, the mushy stuff, the rotten stuff, and of course the stumps that are here, root balls and whatever, that'll just get pushed over. And as you can see, I'm already starting to get a pretty good buildup over there. So I think what'll happen is in the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to start bringing in the fill and then start dozing it out. So all the way out to that tulip poplar over there, probably 40 or so feet from here, will be pretty flat. So we'll have a nice workspace here for something eventually. And then as we continue to clear over here to the corner on the other side of this log pile, and then we cut our road in to get down to the stream, it'll be just a real nice spot here to work. Whether we decide to put in greenhouses or whatever we want to do here, it'll be just a good level spot. This side hill here is one of them that Upstate Brush Control cleaned up for us. So we're going to plant tea in this area here, and then we'll eventually have our fence up there, because that's the corner of the property up near the telephone pole, just this side of the road. And we'll put our fence all along the front of the house here. So we've got lots of projects, lots of good stuff coming up, so stick with us. All right, guys, gonna start the tractor back up. Gonna drive down over the bank and start to clean up the landing down here. Out quick. Want to give you some perspective as to how steep this actually is. From the road down to the wood is probably 15 feet in height, and it's only 40 to 50 feet in distance. on around here. So we got that all cleaned up. You can still see some brush and stuff there, but there's some firewood mixed in there. I've got a friend that's got a boiler. He might like some of that stuff because it's a little bit longer. And then we'll just throw the brush over the bank. And that's going to be a huge advantage for us this year when we're processing firewood here, is I can push all the bark and the splits and whatever else just right over the bank, and that's going to be good fill for us. Because like I said before, once this is cleaned up, I'm going to be bringing in fill here and dozing it right in. So that'll be nice and leveled off here. And I'm thinking probably, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 dump truck loads will make a pretty big difference. We'll see. It's something I'm not familiar with, is yards of dirt and debris and how far they go. But I'm learning, because it's kind of an industry that I'm close enough to, and running that equipment with the excavators and whatnot, and skid steers. So that helps. Got this all cleared off here. Up in here is where we're going to be putting in the flagpole here pretty soon. Okay guys, so I guess we decided after talking that we're going to go ahead and start getting this York raked out, and we might do some seeding this afternoon here. So it's such a beautiful day, we figured, hey, let's get the process rolling. So I'm going to get the side-by-side fired up here, and we are going to start dragging some lawn here. Do have to air it up a little bit though. I got a tire that's a little soft, so we'll get that taken care of. All right guys, got the side-by-side fired up. Backed over here to the set of drags we've got. Scooch these on back a little bit. Seems to have come off here. I don't know if it's broken or what, but that'll have to be reattached. Get them spun around here a little bit before I flip them. Go. I don't know if that's going to want to lock in place or not. A little banged up. Have to put another pin in there if I can find one here. Alright, found a pin for the drags, put a bolt in there, set them down. Let's see how we do. Here and see how they're biting. Not too bad. Might take it down another notch. See if we can get them to bite in there a little bit harder. There we go. Let's see how they do now. pretty good bite. It's getting a lot of weeds and stuff pulled up, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and keep running this around so we can check our results as we go here. Clean out some of our debris and whatnot here. Every couple of laps we'll have to do this, I'm sure, because there's a lot of it. But that was the idea, is to loosen the dirt, pick up some of these weeds and rocks and everything else that's undesirable. At least make it so we can get the rest by hand. I think I'm gonna shorten up the distance a little bit here. Pull it back just a skosh. There we go. There we go, that ought to be closer. Let's see how we do now. I'm going to have to go over 2 and 3 times. It's pretty hard. Okay, first couple laps in the books. That stuff looks pretty good. It's like I said, it's getting a lot of the stuff that we want to, so it's getting the dirt loosened up a little bit. You can see the drag marks. It's not cutting in a lot, but it is pulling up the rocks like we want to and getting this hard debris, so it'll make it easier for us to gather up by hand. So I'm going to keep buzzing around, and here in a little bit I'm going to get you set up on the reverse cam here so you can get a better view of what's going on. Okay guys, as promised, here's a better shot of the rear. Alright guys, back with you. Finished up the running around this first phase. I'm going to just take a quick second here and show you what it looks like now, and then we'll do a before and after from this morning. It was really full of weeds and sticks and rocks and whatever, so we're going to get the family out here either later this afternoon or sometime this week, get the rest of these rocks and stuff picked up. Got a few small trees we got to hack out with an axe and whatever, but overall we've got a pretty nice piece to work with. It's fairly level at this point as far as excuse me, I don't mean level, but more flat, meaning it'll be easier to mow when we get ready to do that and not going to be quite so rough and bumpy. So accomplished the goal. I was able to get most of it picked up as far as the weeds and a lot of the sticks. You can see the debris piles over here, so I definitely made a lot of ground. Going to keep at it, and we'll keep showing you progress as we continue to move forward with more projects here on the farm. Spin you guys around. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, help us grow the channel, grow our reach, and please share any comments, any advice you have, or any questions you might have. Have a great day, guys. Neighbor called and asked if I would take a look at his property. He's got about an acre or so that he wants cleared, so I'm going to buzz over here on my side-by-side and we'll take a peek at it. So I'm going to take you guys on a little field trip here. I'm going to spin you around, put you on the helmet cam. Let's head on over. So through the woods, I could have made this in about a 5-minute walk because he's behind us and across the creek. shut the camera off for a minute. Make sure he's okay with it. It's pretty looking at the sun come through the trees. Okay guys, so here's where I shut the camera off. This is entering his property. I didn't have permission to film it, and I wanted to speak with him first. So I ultimately did get permission, and in fact I was able to help start the clearing project not long after this video was shot. I didn't realize that he had already had somebody booked for it. So I'm going to have some upcoming awesome content on that, and getting to work with the tractor and work with another like-minded individual in our area here who's a contractor that does this kind of work. So pretty awesome stuff upcoming in the works. I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking us out. Please like, share, subscribe, help us grow our channel, grow the reach, and we appreciate y'all.